You can recognize the continuous stream of thinking, and you can even reconstruct the thinking. Allowing your thinking to not use you, but you use the thinking. That's a more conscious way of being. Using your thinking, not allowing it to use you. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube. I always appreciate your presence. What is the meaning of all this? Life and becoming more aware and suffering, and what is the meaning of all this? Well, when you wake up out of the suffering, the mental identification, the complete attachment to the mind, the meaning of all this becomes that you are a bringer of conscious awareness. Once you realize that you can ultimately see the true nature of who you are and respond to situations in a conscious way, respond to people, things in a conscious way, the meaning of all this ultimately becomes that you bring more of that light to the world. You become more conscious, and you, not in a sense of I'm the bringer of consciousness, I'm going to bring it. Not in that way, but ultimately your state of consciousness transmits itself out into the world, and you'll even notice once you it becomes more natural for you to be conscious, because yes, at the beginning it's a little, because most people are still completely lost in their mind, and their reactions are certain ways and their interactions are certain ways. It becomes a little different, far-fetched, if you will, to be able to ultimately be able to just sit somewhere and look around. When is the last time you've seen someone just consciously sit somewhere and look around without pulling out the phone? So yes, it's another reason why I always mention too, yes, just not something happens and okay, let me just be conscious here. No, not like that. You bring it into your life in small situations when you're just maybe out walking to the car or whatever, you may even looking at the phone. Step out of looking at the phone for a minute, a second. Because the phones are wonderful things. We get to use them. They're wonderful. But they can be very addicting. So being the bringer of consciousness, so to speak, not conceptually, please, you'll know to step out, take a breath, look around. And people may not immediately notice that, but interactions that you may have with some people, they may notice, oh, there's an openness there within you. You're such a kind person, they may say. And it's because of that bringer of consciousness within you that is shining its light. So the meaning of all this, life and evolution and so on, is to bring about a different state of consciousness in human beings. This might be your first time even hearing that. But it is a fact, if you look at the nature of evolution, just through consciousness itself. Now, being a conscious human being, you can use consciousness in certain ways because of the sense of awareness that human beings have. You don't have to be like the old conditioned way, like everybody mostly is on the planet still, where when things happen, excuse me, it produces anger. But this doesn't go this way. It produces sadness or frustration or depression. You don't have to be that way as a human being with conscious awareness. You can recognize the continuous stream of thinking, and you can even reconstruct the thinking. Allowing your thinking to not use you, but you use the thinking. That's a more conscious way of being. Using your thinking, not allowing it to use you. That is the meaning of all this. As conscious human beings, being able to sense your inner state, become aware of your awareness, and being able to shift your attention away from thinking and frustration and depression and whatever else comes with all that complete identification with thought. Thank you.